Good afternoon and welcome to the regularly scheduled board meeting, the DeSoto County Board of Education. If you will, please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. Pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic which stands one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
So good to see a packed house and a lot to celebrate. So we're excited to do that. Go ahead and approve the agenda. Mr. Usleton, what is your recommendation?
Mr. Chairman, I recommend the board to approve the agenda.
Hearing that recommendation, do I have a motion?
Make that motion.
Do I have a second? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Hearing none, that motion passes. Mr. Usleton, your superintendent's report.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. First of all, for executive session, I would like to ask the board to please consider personnel contract matters at that time. But today, as you said, we got a full house here. This is awesome. This is our favorite board meeting of the year where we get to recognize our teachers of the year from each of our schools. And we're so excited to have them here today and to have administrators and family members and friends in attendance. And I just want to start out on behalf of the board and thank all of our teachers who are here today. We look forward to recognizing y'all today. We appreciate all of your hard work. I want to thank our administrators who are in attendance for your support of the teachers. And then I also want to thank the family members who are in attendance. And our family members often sacrifice for what our teachers do, because our teachers of the year, as all of us know up here, it's not a 9-to-5 job. And they bring it home with them, not only work, but also the emotions of the job and how much they care for their students. And we know that you have to make sacrifices for them to be able to do the job that they have to do. And so we greatly appreciate the family members who are in attendance. And so in just a moment, we're going to get started with our program recognizing, but I want to start out by asking Mr. Michael Parker from First Horizon to say a few words. They're our Teacher of the Year sponsor.
Thank you, Superintendent. Appreciate that. Thank you, board, and welcome everybody. I'm Michael Parker with First Horizon Bank, and I want to introduce some of our team that's here today. Valerie Seychow, Chris Canoy, and Tommy Eldred. Valerie's our client specialist. Chris is our senior vice president for North Mississippi, and Tommy's our financial center manager, soon to be financial advisor. So I'm glad they're here. We just want to tell you guys thank you. First Horizon Bank is really proud to partner with DeSoto County Schools and partner to support this award ceremony, the Teachers of the Year. As you exit today, we have a gift bag for you. And in that, it's not just First Horizon stuff, which I know you guys are really excited about. Woke up today hoping to get that water tumbler that's in that bag. But there's some chocolate in there, but there's also a gift card to Chick-fil-A. I think everybody likes Chick-fil-A. And there's also a gift card in there for Nothing But Cakes. So hopefully you guys like those things. We just wanted to tell you thank you. It's a small just gesture. We just really appreciate what you do. We really appreciate just everything that DeSoto County is about, the school board, the teachers, the principals, the administration. Just you guys are touching a lot of lives. Chris and I had a chance to meet with the sheriff this week, and he went on and on about the school system, how much you guys are impacting young lives. So thank you. Congratulations. This is your day. We're just here to support you and thank you. So I just want to give you guys a round of applause.
As Ms. Samples is coming forward, we'll start with the certificates here in just a moment. Teachers, as you get your certificates, if you could just stand over on the side until we get a group together of about 4 or 5. We're going to take pictures by school zones. And then at the very end, we're going to take, I think this first one we've ever done, a big group photo. We're going to get all the teachers up here and we'll take a big group photo of all of our Teachers of the Year. And family members, if you want to come up and get a closer picture during any of the picture times, feel free to do that also. And then once we get that group photo, we'll take about a 10-minute intermission. And that way, if you want to get some pictures with your principal or anybody else or school board members, whoever that might be, we'll take the time to do that. We're going to take our time and enjoy the afternoon. We're not going to rush through this. One ground rules as far as applause are concerned. Please do not hold your applause. Okay, we don't want to hold applause. All right, because our teachers deserve all the applause. Let's try to all applaud for all of our teachers of the year. So, all right, Ms. Sample, you can go ahead and start.
All right, I'm very excited to introduce you all to our Teachers of the Year for 2025. So we're going to start off from CTC West. We have Mr. Jay Stafford. CTC East, Ms. Heather Sow. From DCAC, I'm Miss Amanda Payne. And from Magnolia School, Miss Audrey Powell.
Get a brief photo up here. We'll come here. Right. We'll come here. Congratulations.
Next, we'll move to the Center Hill Zone from Center Hill Elementary, Miss Brittany Gardner. From Overpark Elementary, Miss Shante Y. Chester. From Center Hill Middle School, Miss Molly Tate. And from Center Hill High School, Miss Lindelda F. Jones.
Okay, just spot here. I'll just. Congratulations.
Next, moving to the DeSoto Central Zone from DeSoto Central Primary School, Miss Kelly Ryan. From DeSoto Central Elementary, Miss Andy Durant. From Pleasant Hill Elementary School, Miss Amy Harvey. From DeSoto Central Middle School, Miss Shaquita Berry. And from DeSoto Central High School, Mr. Matt Morgan.
Congratulations.
Moving to Hernando, from Hernando Elementary, Miss Karen Sandridge. From From Hernando Hills Elementary, Miss Rachel Stigler. From Oak Grove Central Elementary, Miss Brandy Bailey. Hernando Middle School, Miss Maggie Glosson. And from Hernando High School, Miss Lane Carter.
Congratulations.
Moving to Horn Lake, we have from Horn Lake Elementary School, Olivia Johnson. From Shadow Oaks Elementary, Laura Tosh. From Horn Lake Intermediate School, Abby McCool. Horn Lake Middle School, Bryn Curtis. From Horn Lake High School, Cheryl Carroll.
Congratulations.
Our Lake Permit Zone, from Walls Elementary School, we have Stacy Gilner. From Lake Cormorant Elementary School, Sherry Camp. From Lake Cormorant Middle School, Dylan Brudenkamp. And from Lake Cormorant High School, Christina Morgan.
Congratulations.
From our Lewisburg Zone, from Lewisburg Primary School, Sherry Davidson. Lewisburg Elementary School, Emily Carroll Perry. Lewisburg Intermediate School, Cheryl Fisher. Lewisburg Middle School, Courtney Lawrence. And And Lewisburg High School, Matt Hammond.
Congratulations.
Now from our Olive Branch zone, from Olive Branch Elementary School, Cheyenne Boyle. From Chickasaw Elementary School, Carnice James. From Olive Branch Intermediate School, Amy Raines. From Olive Branch Middle School, Andrea King. And from Olive Branch High School, Michelle Drummond.
Congratulations.
South Haven zone, from South Haven Elementary School, Sonia Skipper. From Hope Sullivan Elementary School, Abby Reagan Benote. From Greenbrook Elementary School, Stephanie McFadden. South Haven Intermediate School, Kelly Chapin. From South Haven Middle School, Rosalind Reed. From South Haven High School, Samantha Kohler.
Congratulations. As we're starting to wrap up this portion of the program, I want to thank First Horizon again for being here today and for sponsoring our Teachers of the Year. I want to congratulate our teachers and thank y'all for all of your hard work. Our Teachers of the Year will now be our Teacher Advisory Council. We've got our first meeting this upcoming Tuesday, actually. And I once again want to thank our administrators, our family members who are in attendance. We're going to take the group photo in just a second. Mr. Chairman, is it okay if we take an intermission afterwards? And so as soon as we get done with the photo, we'll take about a 10-minute intermission so you can get other pictures or visit with people. You're welcome to stay for the rest of the board meeting after that, but hey, if you want to go, that'd be the time to go. Hey, you're not hurting my feelings, but I'm saying. So if I could just if everybody else could just kind of hang out, if I could get the Teachers of the Year up the front, we'll get this organized. Thank you.
Anything else you want to do?
Yes, sir. Yeah. I'll say it's kind of hard to top that, but we've got a great little presentation coming up to y'all that falls right in line with Teacher of the Year. We've got our teacher mentor program. Ms. Lori Edge and Ms. Cindy Fraser are going to come forward and present to the board this time.
Well, that is a hard act to follow, I have to say. That's pretty amazing. And we do want to say that one of the teachers that got it this year was one of Lori's from last year, went through our program last year. So that's awesome to see them stepping up like that. So we're going to get started. Thank you so much, first of all, for giving us an opportunity to come in today and share with you the new Teacher Academy Mentor Program that Lori and I have been able to build up for our new teachers in the district. There are 5 major parts of this mentor program that we're going to go through with you guys today. We have added something new this year that we're super proud of and we're really excited to share with you.
First of all, we love meeting our new teachers. So when July rolls around, it's time for NTA kickoff. It's like Christmas in July for Emily and I. We get so excited. And we try to take that excitement and that energy that we create a great first impression for these teachers. This year we had around 250 attend this event. Now, we welcomed them in. They each got a gift. We had a fun video photo booth for them to try out. We fed them breakfast, we fed them lunch, and they got freebies throughout the day. Also, I think we were amazed by how awesome our community was this year. Last year, we had about 14 of our sponsors come to the event. This year, we had 27. Every one of them brought at least, if you wouldn't believe all the things we had to give away. All of them had door prizes. They were handing out treats throughout the day, talking with them. And that was awesome because all these teachers aren't from this area. Some of them were new to DeSoto County, some of them new to Mississippi. So they really felt welcomed and loved. And it was awesome to see not only were they joining the best school district, they were joining the community that cared about them. And I want to highlight Get Well Church. They have continued. It's been a real inspiration to us. They didn't only help us this day, they helped us throughout the year, making sure if we have any teacher that had a need, let us know, we'll take care of it. And a fun story for them, one thing they did was in January, but we hadn't been paid in 6 weeks, they brought every one of the new teachers a gift card. And that just meant so much to them, so we really appreciate all the community support we have.
So in order to put on an event for 250 people, it truly does take a whole team of people. And our district really does a good job of bringing people together on this day. I'd like to give a shout out to somewhere like high school. They are always accommodating, always helpful. We really love putting this event on there, and I'm very grateful for all that they did for us. Our specialists come in, they're doing those breakouts. We love that Usselson comes in, does that whole class speech. But one of the things that we did this year that was a little different, because we do surveys to find out how we can continue to improve the program, was we added a coaching session because they were like, well, there wasn't really a session for me, and that was hugely successful. So we hope to continue to add sessions that are relevant to our teachers that are coming into our district.
This, I want to introduce you to our new teacher leadership team. This is something that we started by selecting teachers who really did outstanding their very first year. They might not have needed a whole lot of guidance from us. You can see they're a lot of fun. They're also very creative. They helped us set up for ASD. They helped us set up for the NTA by decorating. They greeted those new teachers because just that year before, they'd been in that same spot. So it was really comforting to the new teachers as they came in. They worked together, collaborated to create a professional development that they presented at NTA. It was one of our breakout sessions. And once again, it was our most attended session that we had. This year, I feel like we've used them a little bit more than we did in the past. As you can see in one of the top pictures, the little arrows pointing to, that's Ashlyn Gentry from Overpark. She was one of ours, and she came to a session later on in the year, and she actually had her own group of science teachers that she shared with them what curriculum she was doing, what activities. And then they have also sent encouraging videos. We've used them for resources and kind of a point of contact for our new teachers.
So once we get past the kickoff, we focus in on our first year teachers because we know they need more support. So there was 110 teachers that have gone through our program this year. We've started a new tradition. We're going to start taking pictures, class of 2025. We put them through five sessions that are strategically designed just for new teachers that need that extra support. The great thing about this is we get to take this and then we get to go in the classroom and support them. So we want to walk you through some of the changes that we made this year, as well as how these sessions have helped them.
So in order for us to continue to grow, we once again sent a survey out, and one of the things that the teachers said they needed more of was help with their procedures at the beginning of the year, more of the classroom management. So this session, we extended to a full day. We brought them in, we fed them lunch as well. So we gave them all the content in the morning, gave them some time in the afternoon to process that information, and then we put them in small groups and gave them scenarios for them to determine how they would solve these problems that they occurred in their class, and allowed them to present to their peers, so they really learned from each other.
Our engagement session was a huge hit from last year. We didn't change a lot in this session, but this session is a lot of fun for them, and it's relevant because we really focus on bringing the specialists in. They get to break out and talk about things in classrooms because it's content-based and it's grade level. And you can see there's somebody up there that definitely has had some great mentors in her life outside of this program.
In about November, they kind of started getting their data in. They have figured out what their students can and cannot do, and they need a little bit more support here. We obviously do not know everything, but we have a lot of people in this building and in this district that do. So we try to bring in other departments as the teachers are struggling with whether it's their academics, whether it's behavior, whether it is the language barrier. We try to bring in someone from every group to give them their knowledge so they could take that back and we truly could grow all our learners.
So our January session, a lot of fun. The focus for this session is creating an atmosphere that celebrates all their accomplishments up to this point. We love that Mr. Esselton comes, gives them a word of encouragement. It's good for them to hear from him. You can see there they are in the picture with their little gift cards that get well provided for them. And then we end this session by reflecting. We teach them the practice of reflection and how they can continue to grow based on what they've learned, their strengths and weaknesses. And then we also help them reset for January. They go into that day one of January with activities they can do with their kids on that first day.
And Mr. Esselton brought a few gift cards too.
He
so
did, thank you. They loved it.
Not by Kroger.
He did. We will end our program next week, talking about healthy relationships. Ms. Tawana Williams will come in and work on the teachers' mental health, their self-care. We also use this time to make sure that these teachers have their license. If they are not certified, we want to find out what are the next steps. Ms. Springer comes in and we all try to work together. And if they're not ready to be renewed for next year, to continue, that we get them on the path they need to be. We also walk them through the CEU process, and that way they do it with us. We go ahead and directly enter their MECA account, so they've had someone help them go through that.
Hi, my name is Teresa Vecino, and I just want to tell you how much the new teacher academy helped me in my first year as a teacher. I honestly don't know what I would do without Miss Frazier and the program that her and Miss Lori have done. I mean, I learned more in the 3-4 meetings that we have done than the entire alternate route to my program that I'm in. It's so much real life hands-on experience and information that I don't think I would be even a third of the teacher that I am without them. It has been so beneficial in classroom management and thinking about how to have fun and interesting activities for the kids and giving me actual examples for stuff. I mean, I feel bad for all the teachers that don't get that sort of opportunity because it has been amazing, and I would recommend all new teachers everywhere across the country go through their program. Seriously, Ms. Frazier and Ms. Lori are amazing. Thank you.
We did not pay her, I promise. It's precious, it's so precious.
You can give her one of those gift cards.
Maybe, no, she is like a little me. She reminds me of me when I first started, and I'm just proud of her. So, thank you for hearing her story.
Awesome.
So this is the session we were excited about. This is something new we did this year, kind of as a trial. I was in one of our buildings working with some of this year's teacher and ran into one of our last year participants who I've checked in on and talked with a little bit. And she was just like, I miss you. I was like, oh, I miss you too. But she's like, no, I miss coming to see you and all the collaboration I got to do with other teachers. And I miss learning from you guys. I wish we could do that again. I came back and I told Emily that, and I was like, I've had other teachers say that too, and she's like, me too. So we thought, how can we best support our second-year teachers who are much better off, but still need a little more help? So we decided to do a survey again, sent them out, found out they're still struggling with discipline and behaviors. So she and I found a conference to attend. We went to it, took that information, came back, and developed our own professional development to meet those needs. So we had them come back this week, actually, and they were so excited to see each other. It went amazing. They did great, and we were able to share that information that we had learned with them to give them more ideas, more suggestions to better their classroom. We also had them, if you see the quarter, they wrote a letter to the first-year teachers for this year. So next week when they come for their mental health day, they're going to get a cute little Valentine card from last year's group, encouraging them to how much better this year's going to be. And if you could have heard their stories on how they've improved this year and how much easier the second year was, it was very inspiring for us.
Yeah, we knew y'all wouldn't want to sit through 24 hours of video, even though we could have provided that. They've done a great job. So one of the unique things about this program is that we get to train them and be there and create those relationships, and then we get to go and do the in-school visits. What you can see in this video here, this is a classroom that Lori supported. She was doing her first lab ever. As a science teacher, former science teacher, that's very intimidating. That's a lot of work. So Lori was able to be there to help her implement the strategies that we've been showing them in the trainings. So that's super helpful. Now, I love this before and after picture. We love those shows, right? So this is such a great example of we go in, they're overwhelmed, they've got stuff everywhere, and then just helping them get organized allows them to focus on the things that are most important, like their students. So those are just a couple of examples of some things that we do in our in-school visits.
Hi, my name is Jessie Ashmore. I am a first-year kindergarten teacher here at Greenbrook Elementary in South Haven. NTA has been so helpful to me during my first year. It's given me lots of different experiences, meeting new people, seeing other teachers that I've met in college and along the way, and getting to talk to them, getting their feedback. I've gotten to see a lot of different examples of how to do things or see other people's perspectives on how to do some of the same things I'm doing in my classroom. It has also been so helpful in having mentors and people that I know I can rely on as I make it through my first year. For example, Miss Lori Edge, she was able to come in and work with me the first few days when I didn't have a TA. And it was so helpful getting her feedback and getting to talk to her, work with her as I figured out how to do the very first days of school. And she was just such a great mentor to me, even along the way. There have been so many people who've been so helpful, and I've gotten to experience so many new things and learn so much. So thank you, NTA, for all the help this year.
I'm so proud of her. Kindergarten is not easy. It's been a while since you've been in a kindergarten classroom, especially those first few days, and she has grown so much. She's absolutely outstanding. As we mentioned, we're trying to do all of our conferences to be relevant to our teachers and what they need. I do want to point out, Mr. Alexander was so kind. The AASPA conference, he saw where they had a mentor session, and he included to allow us to go with his human resources department to this. So we got to learn from other mentors in other school districts what they were doing. And one thing that I was excited about, since Emily and I kind of did this from the ground up, we didn't know where we stood compared to everybody else. Are we on the right track? Are we completely off base? I'll be proud to say, and not to toot our own horns, but we were right up there with everyone else. And we were so excited to know that, and way ahead of some other areas in school districts. So that should make you guys feel good to know DeSoto County is really on the forefront of it. And we talked to them afterwards, and I think she and I are going to be able to present there next year to help other school districts get their mentor program going as well. So we're excited about that.
Yes, sharing those kinds of things, we don't want to just influence our students, we want to influence the students of our state as well. So every year we do this, and we have our teachers at the end, January, the session that they're doing in February, sorry, they make these stars for the kids that's impacted them. So every star on here that we hung at our NTA kickoff event represents a student that was impacted by a new teacher. And that's really what it's all about. That's why we do what we do. That's why you guys are here today. And we just can't thank y'all enough for supporting us and the leaders that support us so that we can go out and really take care of our teachers so that they can take care of the students that we're all here to impact. So thank you so much for having us today. We enjoyed it. Thank you.
Great presentation, that's awesome. And I want to thank our board for allowing us to have this program. We talked about this 2 years ago, and we pulled Miss Edge and Miss Frazier out of the classroom. We talked about, we had 2 great teachers who would be in the classroom, but they have impacted so many teachers throughout the district that it's definitely paid off. And we appreciate all of y'all's hard work. Y'all do an amazing job. They're all over the place every day. Going out to all of our schools. We appreciate all you do. Thank you. All right, this time I'd like to ask Mr. Chase to please come forward for a presentation.
With the restructuring of grade levels and campuses in the Hernando school zone for the 25-26 school year, residency criteria must be met for the 2 kindergarten and first grade schools in the Hernando zone. From the outset, you as the board wanted to make it the enrollment at both schools very similar and to keep neighborhood children together at the same school. With the criteria that you have in front of you, these 2 goals were accomplished. No subdivision is divided. The student body at Hernando Elementary School would include students who live east of I-55 and students who live both north of Commerce Street and east of Highway 51. The student body at Oak Grove Central Elementary would include students who live west of Highway 51 and students who live both south of Commerce Street and west of Interstate 55. At this point, I'll defer over to Mr. Elston for a recommendation.
Any questions from the board? Mr. Chairman, I recommend the board to adopt the criteria that's presented to you effective with the upcoming 25-26 school.
Hearing that recommendation, do I have a motion?
I make that motion.
Do I have a second?
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Hearing none, that motion passes.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. That concludes the superintendent's report.
Thank you very much. Mr. Keith, attorney's report.
We do not have a attorney's report today.
Thank you, sir. Approval of minutes of the January 23rd, 2025 board meeting. Do I have a motion to approve those minutes? Do I have a second?
Second.
All in favor, say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Hearing none, that motion passes. Before we move into the consent agenda, I want to thank Ms. Elder, all our administration, for providing us all the information in a very timely manner so that we can review it, ask any pertinent questions, and get back and make sure that we're well informed in making our decisions. With that said, today's consent agenda is A through E. Mr. Usleton, what is your recommendation?
Mr. Chairman, I recommend the board to approve the consent agenda.
Hearing that recommendation, do I have a motion? Do I have a second? All in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Hearing none, that motion passes. Moving to new business, Mr. Williams requests to pay a vendor for technology.
Yes, sir. In your packet is a letter from the Director of Technology. A letter requests permission to pay a vendor for services rendered prior to a purchase order being issued. The matter has been addressed. Procedures have been put in place to ensure this does not become an ongoing occurrence. We're seeking permission to pay the vendor.
Mr. Usleton, what is your recommendation?
Mr. Chairman, I recommend the board to approve the request to pay the vendor for technology.
Hearing that recommendation, do I have a motion?
I make that motion.
Do I have a second?
Second.
All in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Hearing none, that motion passes. Mr. Williams requests to reimburse an employee South Haven Middle School.
Yes, sir. In your packet is a repair receipt from an employee whose phone was damaged by a student. This occurred while the employee was taking care of the student, and we are asking permission to reimburse her for the repairs to her personal device.
Mr. Usleton, what is your recommendation?
Mr. Chairman, I recommend the board to approve the request to reimburse the employee at South Haven Middle School.
Hearing that recommendation, do I have a motion?
I make that motion.
Do I have a second?
Second.
All in favor say aye. Any opposed? Hearing none, that motion passes. Thank you, Mr. Williams. Is this your first time presenting, right?
Not today.
That is true. Ms. Sample, 2025, 2026 proposed DCS academic calendar.
So as you all met, the Teachers of the Year today, they now start on our Teacher Advisory Council, where the last task that our current Teacher Advisory Council completed was designing the 25-26 calendar, along with our Director of Academic Support, Ms. Wendy Michaels. So I'm excited today to present that to you all. So if you will look on page 1, you will see the dates for students and teachers. Next, moving to page 2, you will see the graduation dates, followed by the starting and ending dates and details for specific employee contracts. Also on page 2, the last section lists the number of student days by month for the school year. On page 3, we have our staff development days, our 9 weeks ending dates, also our report card dates, progress report dates, all for the 25-26 school year. And at this time, that concludes the overview of the proposed 25-26 school calendar.
Mr. Usleton, what is your recommendation?
As I'm getting ready to recommend, this is a months-long process, and Ms. Samples and Ms. Michael helping out with our Teacher Advisory Council in January. And we always want our teachers to get feedback from their faculty, and we want to support our teachers, and we feel like this academic calendar is what our teachers wanted. At this time, I'd like to recommend that we approve the 25-26 DCS academic calendar.
Hearing that recommendation, do I have a motion? Do I have a second?
Second.
All in favor, say aye. Any opposed? Hearing none, that motion passes. Thank you, Ms. Simmons. Ms. Hadley, good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Statement of revenue and expenditures for December 2024.
Okay, our revenue collections through December for the general funds are at $135,118,328, which is 3% higher than the FY '24 revenues. And the increase is due to the increased evaluation of ad valorem and of course the increased MSFF. Revenues for all funds are at $158,596,167, which is 3% higher than FY '24. Our general fund expenditures through December are $141,861,533, which is at 3% higher than your FY '24 expenditures. Expenditures for all funds are at $181,410,026, which includes, of course, construction expenditures. And of course, the increase in the expenditures is still in line with the budget.
Thank you. Mr. Usleton, your recommendation.
Mr. Chairman, I recommend the board to approve the statement of revenue and expenditures for December 2024.
Hearing that recommendation, do I have a motion? Do I have a second? All in favor, say aye. Any opposed? Hearing none, that motion passes. Ms. Hadley, combined balance sheet for December 2024.
Okay, the fund balance for all general funds is at $174,715,737, which is actually up 12% over FY '24, which was at $155,457,531.
Mr. Usleton, what is your recommendation?
Mr. Chairman, I recommend the board to approve the combined balance sheet for December 2024.
Hearing that recommendation, do I have a motion?
I'll make that motion.
Do I have a second?
Second.
All in favor, say aye. Any opposed? Hearing none, that motion passes. Ms. Hadley, statement of cash flow for December 2024.
The December cash balance for district maintenance is at $161,779,123, which is 74% of the cash balance for all funds, standing at $219,013,635. The amount invested with Smith Shell Nut and Regions Bank at the end of December is $53,019,306.
Mr. Usleton, what is your recommendation?
Mr. Chairman, I recommend the board to approve the statement of cash flow for December 2024.
Hearing that recommendation, do I have a motion?
I'll make that motion.
Do I have a second? All in favor, say aye. Any opposed? Hearing none, that motion passes. Ms. Hadley, certification of bank reconciliations for December 2024.
I'm happy to say all bank statements have been reconciled with no exceptions.
Great. Thank you. Mr. Russell, what is your recommendation?
Mr. Chairman, I recommend the board to approve certification of bank reconciliations for December 2024.
Hearing that recommendation, do I have a motion? Do I have a second?
Second.
All in favor, say aye. Any opposed? Hearing none, that motion passes. Thank you, Ms. Hadley.
Thank you.
You need to come and balance my bill.
Mr. Alexander, personnel.
Yes, sir. Page 1 is recommendations. Page 2 through 3 is changes. Page 4 is memo for myself to approve up to 5 days under 40 hours administrative leave between February 6th, February 20th, in the event the school is closed later, dismiss our duty, inclement weather. And this would be granted for all less than 230 days full-time employee. Page 5 is memo from our Director of Health, Nurse Patsy Davis, request to have a full-time floating nursing unit. This would be on a 187-day and paid according to the nursing pay scale. Page 6 is the 2025-2026 license principal recommendation list. Page 7 is the 2025-2026 assistant superintendent chief operations officer recommendation list. Page 8 is a contingent recommendation upon a license renewal by one of our principals. Page 9 through 12 is the 2025-2026 principal supplements. Page 13 and 14 is a request for additional pay from our Director of Federal Programs, Ms. Ingram. This would be for after-school tutoring by a teacher at Corn Lake Middle School. That begin February 6th and end June 30th at $30 per hour. And page 15 is also from Ms. Ingram for an employee teacher to do an after-school tutoring at Corn Lake High School with the same dates and pay scale.
Mr. Usleton, what is your recommendation?
Mr. Chairman, I recommend the board to approve personnel as presented.
Hearing that recommendation, do I have a motion? Do I have a second?
Second.
All in favor, say aye. Any opposed? Hearing none, that motion passes. Thank you, Mr. Alexander. Mr. Cole, do you have any residency appeals?
Yes, sir. I got items to discuss in executive session.
Thank you, sir. Mr. Finley, do we have student discipline matters? Thank you, sir. Now we come to our time for public comment. As a board, we welcome public participation at our board meetings. While this is not a debate setting or a question and answer session, we reserve this time at our regular board meetings for public comment and for citizens who have requested to appear. Board policy allows 30 minutes for public comment. Public comment involving student matters or personnel matters must be heard one at a time in executive session. Each person who wishes to comment will have up to 5 minutes to speak until the 30-minute time limit is reached. When I ask for public comment, please state your name, and if you have a student or personnel matter, please state that as well. Do we have anyone that wishes to comment? Okay. We do have one request to appear, initials KO. Are you present?
Yes.
Thank you. I need a motion for consideration of closed session to determine whether the board would enter into executive session for the following matters: residency appeal matters, student discipline matters, and a personnel contract matter. Do I have a motion? All in favor, say aye. Any opposed? Hearing none, Mr. Chase will come back and inform you whether we stay in executive session. Our next board meeting is scheduled for Thursday, February 20th at 10 a.m. Thanks all.